Welcome to Match B2B Insights, the podcast where we cut through the noise of the B2B world and expose what actually drives enterprise decision-making, business pain, personal risk, and the messaging that actually moves revenue. I am Fluman, founder and CEO of Match B2B. With me are Brenda Cohen, our strategic consultant, and Daniel Weiss, our senior go-to-market strategist. Today we are discussing why pain creates momentum. Think about this classic boardroom scenario. The CEO looks around and says, "We need sales." The CMO proudly says, "We generated 600 leads this quarter." The head of sales shakes their head and says, "But none of them converted." And the CFO looks at the flat revenue line and says, "Then we wasted our budget." Why is this happening? Daniel, break this down for us.
Welcome, everyone. If you are tuning in to our Match B2B Insights channel, you know we love a good debate. But before Daniel jumps in, I have to ask a hard question. Is the classic marketing funnel dead? We live and die by our pipeline dashboards. If the funnel is useless, how do we run our businesses?
Let me be completely honest and a bit controversial here. I do not believe buyers move in clean, organized stages at all. In my 15 years of experience building revenue infrastructure, enterprise buyers are completely chaotic. Marketing has almost zero influence on enterprise buying today because 80% of what we produce is ignored. Buyers do not follow our neat little funnels. They run 90 miles an hour in circles, looking at alternatives, getting confused, and stalling. So yes, Brenda, the funnel is broken because it assumes buyers behave logically.
I agree they are chaotic, Daniel, but that is exactly why we need a structured diagnostic tool. The funnel is not dead for measurement. It is a great scorecard for counting. It tells you 50 people entered and 5 came out. But it is completely useless for diagnosis. It cannot tell you why they stopped. It treats the journey like a straight line, but buying is a messy loop. If you have 2 buyers stuck in the middle of your funnel, one might need technical proof, and the other might need CFO justification. The funnel sees them as identical, so you send them the same generic newsletter. Every stalled deal has one broken momentum stage. You must find the leak before you create more content.
Okay, Benny, I see your point. But what about customer journey maps? They track every touch point. Is that not enough to see where they are getting stuck?
Exactly. We map out every web page visit, every white paper download. How is that not telling us what the buyer is doing?
Because tracking a touch point does not mean you change their mind. A buyer can read 10 of your articles and still be 0% closer to a decision. They are consuming, but they are not progressing. This is why we need to move from content-first marketing to a true buyer progression framework. Marketing should not be planned around content. It should be planned around buyer progression. The buyer momentum framework has 6 progression stages: activate, frame, explore, validate, commit, and realize. To move buyers through these 6 stages, we use 4 diagnostic forces: connection, clarity, confidence, and catalyst. Every company has one momentum leak. If you do not identify it, you are just throwing money away.
Let us make this super concrete with some real numbers. Benny, we often see companies boasting about traffic or lead volume. But what is the actual cost of this disconnect? Give us a real scenario.
Let me share a real story from a company we mapped recently. They had a massive marketing budget and were generating over 500 leads a month, but their sales cycle was over 12 months long, and their win rate was under 15%. They thought they had a lead generation problem. But when we analyzed their content inventory, we found that 80% of their assets were focused entirely on product features. They had 0 assets helping the buyer build an internal business case. They were leaving the entire internal sale to the champion, who was carrying massive personal risk.
That is exactly the point, Daniel. If that champion sponsors your expensive project and it fails, their credibility is damaged and their job is at risk. Postponing the decision feels safer than making it. They need a catalyst to justify the purchase to the CFO. When we worked with that client, we stopped them from producing more feature blogs. Instead, we built a simple data-backed business case template. The result? Their sales cycle shortened by 25% in less than 90 days, and their win rate increased by 3 times. We did not build more content, we plugged the specific momentum leak.
3 times increase in win rate? That is huge. And it proves that understanding the pain is the ultimate GTM advantage. Let us look at how market leaders like Gong, HubSpot, and Monday.com handle this. Is it the same logic?
Yes, but let us be clear, they do not have a magical secret. Viewed through the buyer momentum lens, each company built assets that help buyers progress, rather than simply generating attention. Gong dominated the frame stage. Instead of just pitching software to record calls, they published research showing exactly how conversation patterns affect win rates. They redefined how the market thought about sales coaching, building massive authority. HubSpot did the same by building HubSpot Academy. They did not just sell CRM software, they taught an entire generation how to do inbound marketing, owning the explore stage. And Monday.com focused on the commit stage by building a huge library of templates so buyers could start a self-service pilot in minutes, removing all the technical friction.
Okay, this makes sense. But how does an everyday GTM leader know where their own system is leaking? Is there a simple diagnostic tool we can give them right now?
Yes, they can ask themselves 6 simple questions to find their leak. First, if buyers do not realize they have a problem, you have an activate leak. Second, if they understand the symptom but do not prioritize the problem, you have a frame leak. Third, if they compare options forever and get confused, you have an explore leak. Fourth, if they like your solution but need proof it works for them, you have a validate leak. Fifth, if they want to buy but are stuck in internal approvals, you have a commit leak. And sixth, if they buy but do not adopt the tool and end up churning, you have a realize leak. Every stalled deal has one broken momentum stage. Find that leak before you create more content.
And once you find that leak, you use our 5 implementation layers to fix it: evidence, mapping, diagnosis, build, and system. You collect the real sales recordings, map the actual buyer progression, diagnose the core friction, build the missing assets, and track the results. This is how you stop wasting up to 40% of your marketing budget on content that nobody uses.
It really is a complete revenue infrastructure. Benny, when a company works with Match B2B to build this, what is the exact commitment?
We establish the baseline, define the progression metrics, and commit to building and implementing the actions required to improve conversion between stages, sales velocity, and win rates. In return, we need access to your real data, sales recordings, and team. We are not here to decorate a broken engine. We are here to rebuild it.
So if you are tired of running on that content treadmill, sweating like crazy but going nowhere, it is time to step off. Stop planning your marketing around content formats. Start planning it around buyer progression. Ask yourself every day, what must change in the mind of my buyer to make them take the next step?
If this reflects what you are seeing in your organization, the next step is not another campaign. It is a structured mapping of where buyer momentum stops, what evidence is missing, and what should be built first. If you want to understand whether this model is relevant to your organization, we would be glad to explore it with you. Visit us at matchb2b.com. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, Benny. Let us keep driving real momentum.
Absolutely. See you all on the next episode.